So a federal judge just called out Bill Barr for potentially lying to Congress about the Mueller report. Or maybe I should say today, another federal judge called out Bill Barr for lying about the Mueller report. Let's talk about the opinion handed down today by Judge Amy Berman Jackson. Because justice matters. Hey all, Glenn Kirshner here. So federal judge Amy Berman Jackson just issued an opinion taking Bill Barr to task. A lawsuit was filed some time ago by an organization called CREW, Citizens for Responsibility and Ethics in Government, and CREW was seeking the release of a DOJ memo and some DOJ communications that Bill Barr claimed he relied on, at least in part, when he told us all that Donald Trump shouldn't be prosecuted for anything in the Mueller report. You know, not for those 10 obstruction of justice crimes that were meticulously documented and detailed by Bob Mueller. Bill Barr tells us, well, I was relying on this DOJ Office of Legal Counsel memo. No, not the horrific OLC memo that says you can't indict a sitting criminal president. This was a different memo that CREW was seeking the release of because CREW smelled a rat. They smelled a Bill Barr cover-up, so they sued. They brought suit so that we could all see this memo and these communications that Bill Barr claimed supported his decision that Donald Trump can't be prosecuted for anything in the Mueller report. Now let me start by reading just the first few paragraphs of Judge Amy Berman Jackson's opinion, just so you get a flavor of the tone. And you can kind of see how Judge Jackson was feeling about this litigation in how she chose to describe it. Here's the opening few paragraphs. It is the Citizens for Responsibility and Ethics in Washington versus the United States Department of Justice, and it opens, on Friday, March 22, 2019, Special Counsel Robert S. Mueller III delivered his report of the investigation into Russian interference in the 2016 presidential election to the then Attorney General of the United States, William P. Barr. But the Attorney General did not share it with anyone else. Instead, before the weekend was over, he, Bill Barr, sent a letter to congressional leaders purporting to, quote, summarize the principal conclusions, close quote, set out in the report, compressing the approximately 200 highly detailed and painstakingly footnoted pages of Volume 1 of the Mueller report, which discusses the Russian government's interference in the election and any links or coordination with the Trump campaign, and the almost 200 equally detailed pages of Volume 2, which concerns acts taken by then President Trump in connection with the investigation. Bill Barr compressed it all into less than 4 pages. The letter asserted that the special counsel, quote, did not draw a conclusion one way or another as to whether the examined conduct constituted obstruction, close quote, and it went on to announce the Attorney General's own opinion that, quote, the evidence developed during the special counsel's investigation is not sufficient to establish that the president committed an obstruction of justice offense, close quote. The president then declared himself to have been fully exonerated. The Attorney General's characterization of what he'd hardly had time to skim, much less study closely, prompted an immediate reaction as politicians and pundits took to their microphones and Twitter feeds to decry what they feared was an attempt to hide the ball. I will add, by Bill Barr. Almost done the opening salvo. Even the customarily taciturn special counsel, Bob Mueller, was moved to pen an extraordinary public rebuke on March 27th. This from special counsel Mueller. The summary letter the department sent to Congress and released to the public late in the afternoon of March 24 did not fully capture the context, nature, and substance of this office's work and conclusions. We communicated that concern to the department on the morning of March 25th. There is now public confusion about critical aspects of the results of our investigation. This threatens to undermine a central purpose for which the department appointed the special counsel to assure full public confidence in the outcome of the investigations. Mueller called for the immediate release of the report, but it remained under wraps for another 3 weeks. And Judge Amy Berman Jackson continues in what is an approximately 40-page opinion with attachments, and I'm still digesting it, but I've given it a quick read after it came out today, and let me just highlight a few nuggets that I found. So, Judge Amy Berman Jackson, who you may recall was the presiding judge over the Roger Stone trial, and who sentenced Roger Stone to 40 months in prison, only to have his sentence first commuted and then his conviction pardoned by his criminal associate, Donald Trump. Here's some of what Judge Amy Berman Jackson said in her 40-page opinion. She said that part of what Bill Barr's Department of Justice did in this litigation, quote, served to obscure the true purpose of the memorandum, close quote. The memorandum that Bill Barr tried to use to justify his conclusion that Donald Trump shouldn't be prosecuted for anything. The memo that Bill Barr tried to hide behind. Judge Amy Berman Jackson also said that some of Bill Barr's Department of Justice representations, quote, are so inconsistent with the evidence in the record, they are not worthy of credence. And then there are these choice words for Bill Barr himself. Some of what Judge Amy Berman Jackson saw in this litigation, quote, calls into question the accuracy of Attorney General Barr's March 24 representation to Congress, close quote. Those are serious accusations. Those are serious misdeeds by Attorney General Bill Barr, and I trust they are presently being investigated by Merrick Garland's Department of Justice. Now, I'm going to continue to go through this lengthy opinion by Judge Jackson, and I'm sure we'll be talking more about it in the days to come. But let me wrap up with this. At the end of this order, Judge Jackson gave the present Department of Justice 2 weeks to, she ordered the release of this memo, of these communications, because she didn't buy Bill Barr's Department of Justice arguments that it should remain under wraps and that it really was a legitimate basis to conclude that Donald Trump shouldn't be charged with any crimes. So she ordered the memo released. She also gave the present Department of Justice 2 weeks to request a stay of the release, to pause the release. And I know it's maddening. And justice has been so long in coming and so slow. But I'm not surprised she gave Merrick Garland's Department of Justice 2 weeks to request a stay of the release of this memo and of these DOJ communications. Now, I am not at all sure Merrick Garland's Department of Justice will ask for a stay, will oppose the release of this memo and these communications that it sounds like Bill Barr misused to misdirect the public, claiming that Donald Trump can't be prosecuted for any of these crimes documented in the Mueller report. But if Merrick Garland's Department of Justice does seek a stay, try to delay the release, we'll know soon enough and we'll be able to talk about the reasons that they might want to hold off releasing some of these DOJ communications. And I will preview it by saying it may very well be because it is part of an ongoing investigation into Bill Barr and others. But we will cross that legal bridge when we come to it. Right now, let's just say once again, because I think we're all feeling it, that it is taking so long and it is moving so slowly that we tend to become frustrated and impatient waiting for justice and accountability for Donald Trump and his entire criminal cabal. But with this opinion from Judge Jackson, I do believe that the arc continues to bend toward justice. And justice matters. Folks, as always, please stay safe. Please stay tuned. And I look forward to talking with you all again tomorrow.